Mathematics, Ordinary Level, Paper 2, 2022, Part 6. Let's start with question number 15. Now, I can already see this is transformations, so you will find it in my textbook on page 612. You will find it there. Okay, now let's start. On the grid, draw the image of the following transformations of shape A. Now, there is shape A. Do you see that? Okay. Translation by vectors -9 and 4. Now, just take one corner at a time. Okay, so I'm going to take all these corners and I'm just going to move it -9. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a negative direction, and then +4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I make a cross. And I do the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm just taking my ruler, rather take another color. Okay, and I'm just, it's the shape, it didn't rotate, it didn't enlarge, it just moved position. And they said, name it B. Okay, as easy as that. Then rotate 90 degrees clockwise through 5 and 1. Now, where is 5 and 1? There it is. Now, it's very nice if it's 5 and 1. Yes, that's correct. If it's on the figure, okay, then it's going to overlap. So, label D. So, it's 90 degrees clockwise. Now, I like to take a piece of paper. Even if you take a little part at the back, then I cover it with the paper. Then I make the arrow facing north. And then I just clockwise, that helped me. So it's actually negative. Otherwise, they would have said -9. And then I just, until the arrow is there. But if I do and I put my nails on, then I was getting this. Can I just show you? And as I said, that would be my way of doing it the easiest. Okay. And now I'm just taking my ruler and I'm just going, and I'm just going to call this D. Okay. And now they say, describe fully the single transformation that maps A onto C. Now, you can see it's an enlargement. So, for the 1 point, enlargement. But then you're just going to get 1 point. Okay, now I must find the scale factor. So, take a side on the image and count the blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and count 2. So 6 divided by 2, so it's a scale factor of 3. But now for this third point, you must write the center. And what is the center? Now, you can take a ruler, and I'm just going to make it very light. So if you combine the same points, and you just, let me just see a little bit better. Okay, and if you combine that, you see, and then you see the cross is there. And what is that point? So just name that point. So what is the center? The center is 6 and 1. 6 and 1. Okay, and that's how you do that. Let's just go to the report again and see what they tell you there. Okay, that's question number 15. So let's just go here. Okay, I'll just read for you. The whole of this question was well answered. Excellent. The spelling of transformations words is still a problem, however. Okay, I don't think we spelled maybe enlargement. Many candidates wrote enlarge, but it's enlargement. Okay, instead of enlargement. Candidates should also be advised to pay attention to the labeling of their shapes. You must remember. So it's the correct shape, and there they give you just the coordinate points so that you can check. Okay. And then enlargement, scale factor free, center. So for every one of that points, you will get 1 mark. Okay. Let's do the next question. Question 16. Now, I must say, I think in the whole question paper, this is the most difficult question. This is definitely a level 3 question. It must be there, especially for students who's continuing with AS level. Now, this space is also very, very short, small here. So what I'm going to do, because I worked it out already, I'm rather going to say on extra page. Or, so on extra page. Or page 19. Say if it's 17 or page 18. Page 18. And then I will just come and write the answer in. So now I will go to page 18. Yes, page 18. And I'm rather going to do the question here. But can I just go back and just read for you so that you have all the info? So the second, the sixth, and the 9th term of an AP are the first 3 terms, so T1, T2, T3 of a GP. Find the common ratio of the GP. Now, as I said, I'm going to write everything for you here. So this is the AP, this is the second, this is the 6, and this is the 9. And then if it comes to the GP, that will be the first term, the second term, and the third term. Okay, now the problem what I think most of you will struggle with, and that is to say, okay, where will I get values? No, you're not going to get values here. So basically you're going to write it in terms, and I see I did not write the page for you down, or I wrote the page. Let me see, page 210. You can check on page 210 in the textbook. Okay, so write it in terms of, the first term of an AP is A, then A plus D. So the second term will be A plus D. And the third term, the sixth term, because it's Tn, equals A plus N minus 1 D. That is the general formula. So if it's the first term, it's just going to be 0, and it's just A. The second term is A plus D, because it's 2 minus 1, which is D. Then the sixth term is A plus 6 minus 1, so it's going to be A plus 5D. And then this one, it's going to be A plus 9 minus 1, 8D. Okay, now you can write it in terms of that. And as I said, you can follow another method also, but this is the method that I'm going to follow. So this is still my first term. I'm just going to keep it in terms of A and D. This is my second term in my in the GP. And this is going to be my third term in the GP. Okay. So now I'm going to try to find the value of R. Now, to find the value of R, it's either T2 over T1, and that must be equal to T3 over T2. Okay, so basically, if I'm going to do that, it's going to be, okay, remember T2, so it's going to be A plus 5D. That's T2, do you see that? Over A plus D. And that's equal to A plus AD over A plus 5D. Okay. Now I'm going to cross multiply. I'm going to simplify. Let's rather make an arrow there. Okay. So make brackets, and I cross multiply. So it's going to be A plus D. I'm doing this one with an A plus 8D. And that's going to be A plus 5D. And it's going to be A plus 5D. And then I'm going to multiply it out. So I'm going to get A squared plus 8AD plus AD plus 8d squared equals a squared plus 5ad plus another, that 5ad, plus 25d squared. Okay, and if I simplify this now, I'm just going to see what do I get here. Okay, so let's just see if I'm taking, did I already take everything? I think the best is to, I can see that this can cancel, but let me just take everything over. So a squared plus 8ad, okay, let me simplify at least the sides. I can do that. So ad, so it's 9ad plus 8d squared minus that a squared from the other side. Now this becomes 10, so it becomes on the other side negative 10ad minus 25d squared, and that would be equal to 0. Okay, so this cancel. So then I'm going to say 9 minus 10, so it's minus ad, and then it's going to be negative 17d squared, and that's equal to 0. Okay, now if I'm going, I'm just taking everything to the other side. Okay, so that I'm just, so I'm going to get ad, doesn't matter, or I think the best is, can I show you? Just to divide everything by negative 1. Okay, now I'm taking d out as a common factor. And then I'm getting d is equal to 0, or a plus 17d is equal to 0. So I can get that a is equal to negative 17d. Okay, I just want to get that in. Now, I'm going to substitute, but d is equal to 0 is not going to work. So I'm going to substitute a is equal to negative 17, the d's, 17d in t2 over t1 equals t3 over t2. That top, that's what I did there. I'm just going to substitute it there. So if I substitute it there, I'm going to say, okay, let's just put, actually I can just substitute it in one, in either this one or in that one. So let's just start with T2 over T1. So it's A plus 5D over A plus D. And that in the place, so it's negative 17D plus 5D. And that is equal to A, again my A, negative 17D plus D. And that is going to give me negative 12D, and that is going to give me negative 16D. The D's cancel out, and that will be positive. 3 can go in, or 4 can go in. 4 can go in 3 times, and 4 can go in 4 times. Okay, did you see that? So basically, and this is how I get the value of R. Remember, to get the value of R is T2 divided T1. You could have done the same, and I'm just going to show you. Say you did it with this. Say you said R is T3 over T2. Then it would have been A plus 8D over A plus 5D, and that would have been negative 17D plus 8D over negative 17D plus 5D, and that would have been giving me, okay, so this would have given me negative, no, it's late, no, negative 9, so it's negative 9, and this would have given me negative 12. And then I could have exactly do the same. I say negative, it's positive, and 3 can go in 3 times, and 3 can go in 4 times. And I'm getting exactly the same. So I'm getting, therefore, I'll go now back, R is 3/4. I think there can be an easier method, but this is the method that I use. But so R, so find the common ratio is just going to be 3/4. Okay, and that's how I do it. Okay, according to me, that was the most challenging question. Okay, so let's just look at the exam report. Poorly answered. I understood. Only very few candidates managed to answer this question. See, okay, were some people who got it correct. So many candidates could not write down the three terms of the AP that should then have used for as terms of the GP to find the common ratio. Do you see? And that, so I don't think there's another method. That's also the method that we used. Okay. Oh, this is a nice feeling. We are going to do the last question in this question paper. Okay, so let's just go to that last question. Very nice question to end off with. It's statistics. Okay, it's also in the final chapter. So let's start. I don't think this one is so difficult. So a survey was conducted to find the distance traveled by 182 commuters. The table represents the findings. Okay, now complete the table for the frequency density. Now, it's remember first how we get frequency density, but they help you by giving you values. We just take the frequency and we divide it by the class width. So if you take the class width is 15 minus 10, it's 5. So if you take 34, take it on your calculator, test it, and divide it by 5, and it's 6.8. If you take 31, and you divide it by 5. No, that would be by 10, because 40 minus 30 is 10. You get 3.1. So you continue doing it. So in this case, you're going to say 3 divided by 5, and you're going to get 0.6. And then you're going to say 9 divided by 5, and it's 1.8. Okay. And then you're going to say 89 divide 15, because 30 minus 15 is 15. And then you're going to get 5.9. And just write it in. And then you're going to say 16 divide by 20, and it's 0.8. Okay. So we completed it. Find the modal class. Now, it is, if it comes to frequency density, it's always the one with the highest frequency density, okay, because it's now in proportion, and now you focus on frequency density. So if I go and I find the highest frequency density, it's this one. Do you see that? So, and you can check in the textbook on page 674, there around. So it's going to be D, but you write that down. So D is bigger than equal to 10 and smaller to 50. Okay. And now they love asking this question. This is a score mark for 4. So calculate an estimate of the mean. So you must just always first find the mid values. So it's actually good to write it in. So say 0 plus 5 divide 2, and you get 2.5. So 2.5. I'm just writing it here. And then this one is 7.5. Okay. And then this one is 12.5. Say 10 plus 15 divide by 2. And then 15 plus 30 divide by 2, and this is going to be 22.5. I'll write it now. And this one is going to be 35. Sorry. And this one, the final one, is going to be, okay, let's just quickly see. This is 50. So you're going to say 60 plus 40 divide 2. So work with that mid values. So to get that mean, you're going to say that middle value times the frequency. Okay, remember. Plus the middle value times the frequency, the 9. Then the middle value, 12.5, multiply the 34. Okay, plus, and I'm just continue here. If I want, I can put a bracket like this. And then I'm going to say 22.5, so I'm just taking that middle values, multiply the frequency. And then plus 35 times 31 plus 50 times 16. Okay, that was the last one. And then I divide it by the total frequency, which will also be that value. So divide, otherwise like this, divide 182. You will write smaller. Okay, now it's actually good maybe to get this in between values. So it was 7.5 plus 67.5 plus, now it's better to write it all in a step, plus 202.5, two zeros, plus 1085 plus 800, and I divide it by 182, and I get the full calculators 24.10714286, and then if I approximate to 3, then it's 24.1. Really score marks. Really, you have to get that marks. Okay. And then now the final one is on the grid below, draw an histogram to represent this information. 2 bars have been drawn. Now I work with the frequency density again. So if I have my frequency density, I can just go, you can just go back and see the first one, it's from 0 to 5 and it must be to 0.6. So from 0 to 5 there, and it must be 0.6. Now just get your scale. So if this is 1, so it's going to be, let's just see, so it's 0.2, 0.4, 6. So it's going to be something like, oh, again my pen. Okay, so 0.6, I think it will be more or less like this. Come on. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can just, I'm not getting it correctly with my pen. Okay. And then if it's from 5 to 10, it's 1.8. So you go just 1.8, and that will just be underneath this one. I will still want to get that. So 1.8. Okay. And then if it's from 10 to 15, if it's going to be from, okay, that one is done already. Then 15 to 30. Okay, that's a big one. So 50, that's 5.9. So it's 5 point, and now it's a bit challenging because it's in there. So it's like that, 5.9. And I'm just going to bring it down. Okay, and then it's going to be 30 to 40 I have. Then I'm going to do the last one, and that's going to be from 40 to 60, and that's just going to be 0.8. So that's going to be, oh, let's just go 0. Oh, let's go. Okay. And that's going to be your final one. Let's go to the exam report. Let's see what they tell us there. I personally think this was a nice question to end with. So let's just go bigger. I think we just have to go to the previous page just to read a little bit. Okay. So they said it's well answered. Poorly, the first one. Yes, okay. The second one, the B part, where they asked for find the modal, that was poorly answered. Candidates seems to have ignored that if classes are not of equal widths, then the modal class is determined by the frequency density, rather not the frequency. Only few candidates gave the modal class. Majority had a common wrong answer. Please, people, I remember there was a little bit of a debate about this question, but if the classes are equal, you can go on the highest frequency. But if the classes are not equal, and I think I stipulated in my textbook also very clear, then you must go for the frequency density. And then number C, moderately well answered. It was, however, clear that some centres seems not to have taught this part of the syllabus. Some candidates again lost accuracy mark due to incorrect rounding. That's mean. Then the graph, well, answers, candidate knew that they had to draw bars according to the frequency densities. Those that lost marks was mostly due to incorrect readings of the scale. And maybe just showing you, look, there's the graph. There's the ones that that was drawn. So that's the ones that we were drawing in. And maybe just checking here. Okay, there I just gave you that values also, and also that. Okay. And that was the end of question paper 2 for 2022. Yes, look at the previous papers, but as I always say, always go back to the basics. Go back to the textbook. So or the textbook or any resource. So that's very, very important. And then I just want to say, because this is now the final video in this part 2, I want to say good luck with the examinations. Just practice makes perfect. Practice a lot. And then just be calm. And just remember, there will be difficult questions, but there will also be easy, straightforward questions. And first focus on that. And then as soon as you completed that part, you can come back and complete the rest. And I'm just ending by showing you all the different bookshops where you can buy a hard copy of the textbook. Good luck for this coming examination 2023. May it be your best ever.